Today we're going to look at how we can set up extended warp lengths on our rigid Heddle loom using simple equipment or tools that we can find at home. The first setup I'd like to show you is something that you can do if you have just a dining table with 4 dining chairs. Now the edge of my dining table is tapered and I have difficulties attaching my loom to my own dining table. So here I am using my children's table to demonstrate. As you can see, I have my loom clamped on one end of the table and my warping peg is actually clamped on the other end of the table, and it is centralized to the loom. Typically in the rigid Heddle loom, when we do direct warping, we would walk our warp from the back tie-on rod across to the warping peg and back again. Now in this setup, you would see with the use of 4 other dining chairs, I'm able to get a much longer warp. Now whenever we are warping, we need to recognize that the warp yarn would the tension on the warp yarn actually will pull our equipment together. So as you would see, the green chair here, this leg is being pulled inwards towards the left, and the other green leg is actually being pulled towards the right. Okay, so when we are setting up the chair, we need to make sure that the chairs that we have actually do not move towards each other. So here in this setup, the brown chair that I have the back placed against the table. So that provides some form of natural resistance, because the brown chair, as it tries to move in, will get blocked by the table. Now when I set up the green chair, I make sure I turn the green chair upside down and I have the brown back serve as the resistance to the green chair. So as you can see, I would then now be able to set up from the back of the loom to the warping peg, right, from the back of the loom to the first warping peg, and that pulls everything together, centralize all the warp across the entire width, will meet together at this one peg before it moves to the first leg of the first dining chair, then the first leg of the second dining chair, the second leg of the first dining chair, and then the second leg of the second dining chair, before rounding back up and tracing back that same path again. So by doing so, I actually now have 5 times the length of my dining table. Now if you had a 4-seater dining table, on average that would be about 1.2 meters one length. So if you have 5, like I do here, counting here, you would have approximately 6 meters of warp. Now with the Cricut loom, this is a length that works on the Cricut loom. In fact, works very well on the Cricut loom. Now if you have a slightly longer dining table at 1.6 meter, then you would easily have close to 8 meters of warp just by this particular setup. Here's a speed up version of how I was actually walking the warp across all 5 pegs in this case. 1 warping peg and the 4 legs of my 2 dining chairs. The second setup that I'd like to share here is one that utilizes 2 over-the-door hangers, which you can easily purchase from IKEA if you do not already own them. So this utilizes only 1 dining table, because as you can see, the loom and the warping peg is set up against one side of the dining table, whereas the over-the-door hangers are set up on the other side. So again, you're achieving that zigzagging motion that will allow you to create a longer warp length.